Today on General Hospital, Curtis has an idea on how to find Trina. Michael extends an invitation to Sunny, and Ava advises Carly about Minna. Ava and Avery work on a puzzle at Windermere when Carly stops by. In the foyer, Ava asks Carly what is going on. Carly explains Willow and Michael have moved the wedding up to tomorrow, and Willow wants Avery to be one of the flower girls. Ava and Carly head into the living room where Avery is playing, and Carly gives Avery a basket and asks her if she'd like to be a flower girl at Michael and Willow's wedding. Avery enthusiastically says yes. Ava allows Carly to put Avery to bed and tuck her in. Afterward, Ava inquires if Nina and Sunny are invited to the wedding given it's a family affair. Carly says it's up to Willow and Michael who they invite, and asks why she cares. Ava says Nina is her friend, and she has been devastated by what's happening with Willow. Carly doesn't understand how they could possibly be friends, as all they have in common is hating her. Ava says she doesn't hate Carly. Carly asks if she's really forgiven Nina for immobilizing her and taking Avery. Ava says she hasn't forgotten that, but she chooses not to think about it either. She no longer sees Nina as the disturbed woman she once was, and she got help. Ava tells Carly that right now she is in a perfect position to broker peace between Willow and Nina. Carly scoffs, but Ava says she'd hate to see Carly left with the regrets she has. Carly asks, "What regrets?" Ava says the kind that keeps you up at night. Carly asks Ava if Morgan keeps her up at night, or if she thinks about him at all. Ava admits she thinks of Morgan. Carly snaps she thinks of Morgan every time she sees her, and make no mistake, she's only coexisting with her for Avery's sake. Ava urges Carly to rise above everything else, and do this for Nina and Willow's sake, as time is running out for them. Carly assumes Ava is trying so damn hard to fix Nina because she can't fix Trina. Ava asks, what has happened with Trina? Carly fills her in off-camera, and Ava says she needs to get to Portia. She asks Carly to stay with Avery, and Carly says she will and tells Ava to go. Laura arrives at General Hospital to pick up Esmond but asks for her to wait while she speaks to a friend. Laura heads to see Curtis, while Liz gives Esmond her discharge papers. Esmond asks to speak with Austin as it might be a matter of life and death. Liz brings Austin to Esmond, who worries given his kidnapping that Ace's colic isn't being treated. Austin assures her that it's not life-threatening. Esmond eventually thanks Austin and Liz for comforting her, and she excuses herself. Austin hopes it all works out for Esmond as he feels for her. Liz can't believe it, but so does she elsewhere. Laura asks Curtis if there has been any more word from Trina. He says there hasn't, and he's going to go down to the PCPD and find out what's taking so long to find the haunted star. She tells him not to do that as he'll just be in the way of their work. Laura feels they need to find a way to help without getting in the way. As they talk, Esme appears and tells Laura she's been released. Laura introduces Curtis to Esme, and Curtis explains they know one another. Esme assumes it's better she doesn't remember how. Esme excuses herself, and Curtis doesn't know how Laura puts up with her. Laura says she's the mother of her grandchild, and she also believes Esme has changed. Laura explains that Kevin says if Esme does remember, she may not revert to who she was. Kevin says the human mind and memory is a tricky thing, and she points out she's seen it firsthand with Liz and Drew. Curtis realizes that's it, that Drew could be the one to help locate the ship. Esme returns, and she realizes Curtis is Trina's stepfather. She says she's sorry about Trina, and she's been very kind to her. Curtis thanks her and says he's sorry about her baby. Curtis decides to leave and tells Laura that he'll be in touch with more information soon. Laura suggests to Esme they go home, but she panics. Laura assures her they'll be safe, but Esme cries she doesn't know if she can handle going home with Ace not there. Laura embraces her. Meanwhile, Austin asks Liz why Amy has been looking at him oddly all day. Liz confronts Amy and inquires if she has an issue with Austin. Amy doesn't but advises him not to continue seeing Ava. She says Eva just went through a messy divorce, and now her husband is missing. Liz tells Amy that's enough, and orders her to go file some charts. Liz tells Austin that she is sorry about Amy, though she admits she hopes Ava gets over Nicholas. Suddenly, Ava enters and heads straight to the elevator. Austin tells Liz that things may not be what they appear with Ava. Sunny and Nina go to the hospital chapel, and he tells Nina that Brooklyn told him that Michael and Willow moved their wedding up until tomorrow. Nina fears this is just a sign that this is the beginning of the end and Willow is giving up. Sunny's phone rings and Nina tells him she's fine and to answer it. It's Michael and he asks to see him. Sunny tells him he's in the hospital chapel, so Michael says he'll come to him. After he gets off the phone, Sunny tells Nina that Michael is coming here. Sunny and Nina go to the hospital chapel, and he tells Nina that Brooklyn told him that Michael and Willow moved their wedding up until tomorrow. Nina fears this is just a sign that this is the beginning of the end, and Willow is giving up. Sunny's phone rings and Nina tells him she's fine and to answer it. It's Michael and he asks to see him. Sunny tells him he's in the hospital chapel, so Michael says he'll come to him. After he gets off the phone, Sunny tells Nina that Michael is coming here. Nina returns and overhears she's not welcome at the wedding, but Sunny is. She says she forgot her purse and says she'll go. Sunny tells her about the invite, and she pushes him to go as weddings are about love and family. Nina says she is glad Willow has people around her who uplift her, and she'll be a breathtaking bride. Nina cries and tells Sunny to tell Willow that she's thinking about her, and she dashes out. Sunny asks Michael if this invite is really from both of them or just Willow. He asks, "Do you really want me to be there?" Michael wants what is best for his family, and that means having him there. However, he knows this will cause issues with Nina, so let him know if he's coming or not. Sunny tells Michael that he'll be there. Back at Windermere, Carly thinks about Ava's suggestion to rise above what is going on for Nina and Willow's sake. The doorbell rings and Carly answers it to find Nina standing there. On the haunted star, Trina returns to Spencer's room and tells him their plan worked. She got inside the communications room and she took a walkie-talkie to monitor Victor's guards. She also explains she got through to her mom and gave Jordan their coordinates and direction. Spencer explains he's learned of his uncle's plans and fills her in on them during the commercial break. Spencer laments that millions of people could be wiped out by this pathogen. Trina feels she needs to get to the engine room and do something to buy them time so that the others can get to them. Spencer begs her not to take any unnecessary risks as he can't lose her. They share a kiss and she tells him this is more than about them. They'd have to do something to stop Victor. She sneaks out and locks the door behind her. In the main salon, Victor's men update him that baby Ace is fussy, and also one of the walkies is missing. Victor screams at them for bothering him with mundane problems and their constant screw-ups, and says they may have come on as crew, but he can see to it that they leave as cargo. Elsewhere on the ship, Trina waits near the engine room for the guard to be called away to help look for the missing walkie, and then sneaks into the engine room. Later, Victor brings Ace to Spencer's cabin and tells him that the baby is fussy. Maybe he can settle him down. Spencer recognizes he has colic and suggests Victor leave Ace with him. Victor tells him not to get ahead of himself. Spencer asks if losing Valentine has hardened him so much that he wants to take out the world as revenge. Victor explains this has been his plan for years, and reveals Valentine is alive and was given a chance to help him, but declined and is a traitor. Spencer asks if he's really determined to give up on Valentine and notes it's not too late to stop this plan. They're interrupted by Victor's men, and Victor steps out. Victor is told the engine cable is badly damaged, and if the engineer can't fix it, they'll need to call for a towing vessel. Victor doesn't understand how this happened but soon realizes it happened when the guard was called away to help with other matters. Victor gives his men some new orders to carry out. Later, Trina returns to Spencer's room, but it's still being guarded by Ambrose. Over the walkie, Ambrose is summoned away, and Trina is able to sneak back in. Meanwhile, Spencer and Ace are brought to Victor in the main salon. Spencer asks what is going on, and Victor says he's invited him to dinner after all. Victor tells Spencer his games of distracting the guards and sabotage are over. Spencer plays dumb, but just then Ambrose drags Trina in. Victor says, "Our other dinner guest has arrived on the next General Hospital." Curtis asks Drew to try and remember, because Trina's life depends on it. Portia cries to Ava that she promises her she'll never see him again. Spencer tells Trina that she may have saved them. Ned says to Brooklyn, "The longer he stays silent, the worse it looks." Victor tells Obrecht, "I knew you'd rise to the challenge." Carly gloats to Nina that Sonny's finally put his family above her.